Well, we're here at American Flag University. Gary Bench, the great photographer, is documenting this tirade on flag abuse. You know, Gary, I got to tell you, and everybody else out there who's listening, and I hope that everybody just makes this thing go viral, because we need to get the message out that all across America, over Memorial Day, and we've got Flag Day coming up, and we've got the 4th of July coming up, there are going to be a lot of tattered and torn, ridiculously disgraced American flags. And I don't understand in America why that will happen, why it does happen. But Gary, you and I saw many, many flags in the little town of Burley, Idaho over Memorial Day that were disgraceful. They were desecrated. They were beyond tattered and torn. And this has just got to stop. In this day and age, we need to take more pride, especially when in the condition that our country is in. We need to get off our apathetic butts, and we need to do something honorable for America and for the flag that represents this great nation.
I agree, and what we're talking about is not necessarily people that had some flags on their lawns. We're talking about the cities and businesses that was flying Old Glory high, but they were just in bad condition. It'd be nice to know who's responsible. Is it the city? Is it some individual group? But the businesses, they are responsible when they fly at their businesses, and some of them are just disastrous the way they look.
One of the things that I firmly believe is that if a city or a county or a state, any kind of a government in this good U.S. of A., if they put out tattered and torn flags, then it is just as much the responsibility of the citizenry of that town or that county or that state to say or get something done about it, as it is the officials who are individually and personally responsible for it. The thing we're talking about here, we're talking about city employees going out and putting up flags for holidays up on poles around a city and not noticing or not caring that some of those flags have no business being put up there. I wouldn't put them up there. If I had a tattered and torn flag that was to go up a pole, it would not go up there. And if I got chastised or whatever from a supervisor, oh, so be it. But the bottom line is, when we have flags like out by the Burley Airport, that is that's a beautiful park, and it's a memorial to Vietnam veterans, and we have an Army tank there, we have a jet airplane there, we have a helicopter there, all military aircraft at that park, and the flag that's flying up on the pole is all tattered and torn. That is more than ridiculous. It's a shame. We need to do something about this, folks. We've got to get off our apathetic butts. And we need to do something, or else this country is going to go in the same state of disrepair that a lot of these flags are in. And if you're a true-blooded American, how can this happen?
Yeah, I agree. It'd be nice to know who's responsible. You know, when those city employees are putting up the flags around town, they're probably thinking, oh, this is just doing my job. Well, at some point, they got to be sit there and say, or ask the question, where's my civic pride? Is it my responsibility as an American to tell my boss, we need to get some better flags out here. These are terrible. These are destroyed. And they need to start speaking up. And if their supervisor or their mayor or whoever says, oh, just put them up, then those people need to be called out onto the carpet about their attitude, because it's civic pride. It's not just the American pride. It's what they represent when people come into their town. They need to start showing that pride in themselves and in their communities. And if you are one of those employees, you need to speak up.
Absolutely. I was taking some pictures of some of those flags in our little hometown here in southern Idaho. And some lady rolled down her window and called me a flag Nazi. And I've had people call me the flag police. Well, you know what? I shouldn't have to be the flag police. I shouldn't have to be the flag Nazi. I don't like that word Nazi anyway. But if people need to have the attention brought to them because they don't pay enough attention themselves, then that has to be. But I shouldn't have to go out and police anything. No veteran should. No American should. People should have enough self-respect, enough individual pride, enough civic pride, and enough American pride to notice when a flag is in bad shape and get that thing down the pole, get it retired, get it honorably and respectably destroyed in a dignified manner as the flag code states, and get a new fresh flag up that pole.
Yep, I absolutely agree. Now let's take a look at the flag you have here to show people what it's supposed to look like, the crispness. And I want to show all the edges down here. There is no tatter, there is no tears, there is no, it's just not ripped, and each stripe is not ripped. We've seen too many of those in our little town where it looks like somebody was cutting the stripes just because of the wind that we have that just tatters it. I was telling you earlier, I saw one at a business that it looked like a big piece of the flag was taken out, and it was just because of the wind. The whole thing is tattered, but that business needs to say, wait a minute, is that being respectful to even us? Right. Every veteran that drives past that business, every Boy Scout, every civic leader that drives past that, somebody has got to stand up and say, you know, that doesn't look good. Something's wrong there. And so somebody needs to start speaking up.
You don't have to be a veteran to notice. I have to say, well, you're a veteran, so you notice those things. What? Every American should notice those things. You don't have to be a veteran to love the flag and to pay attention to the flag and to make sure that a flag is in good, fresh. You know, and the thing, Gary, if a flag starts to show some signs of being tattered and torn, then you can take that flag down and repair it. So the edges back up and that flag is still in good enough shape to fly. Once it gets beyond that point, that flag is done. So I know that they're expensive, but either spend the money, do it right, or don't put that flag up at all.
Yeah, I agree. The businesses and the civic groups need to start paying attention. And why would they even put it up? That's what I don't understand. If it's bad, and we've seen some bad ones, why would they even put it up?
That's a good question, and I don't have the answer except for just I don't give a care-itis.
Yep. And that's kind of where we're at right now, and people not paying attention to the flag codes. And you know, I'm just wondering who is responsible. I think we all are responsible.
Yep.
But when you speak out,
every individual has a responsibility.
But when you speak out, sometimes you get run over by a semi-trailer. It might be your city council. It might be some group that just says mind your own business. But as an American, that flag is our business.
That's right. Absolutely.